Do you ever wake up and think, what's wrong with me? You're dragging through the day, you're staring at your to-do list like it's Mount Everest, and the world is telling you you're just lazy, unmotivated, or getting older? But what if none of those things are true? What if it's your body's chemistry that's the problem, not your character? Today, we're breaking down why low testosterone is often misdiagnosed as burnout, depression, or just being lazy, and how fixing it can flip the switch back on in your life. I'm Alicia Capiotis, nurse practitioner and founder of Ever Wellness Center, where we help men and women restore their energy, their focus, and vitality through a functional medicine approach. After reviewing thousands of men's labs, I've seen a clear pattern. Men who think they've lost their drive don't lack ambition. They've lost hormonal support. So let's unpack what's really going on beneath the surface. Somewhere along the way, we've started equating productivity with worth. If you're tired, distracted, or you can't push through, then you're labeled as lazy. But men in their 30s, 40s, and 50s aren't lazy. They're often running on empty. Here's what that looks like. You used to wake up ready to go. Now you hit snooze 3 times. You used to crush your workouts, and now recovery takes days. You used to feel sharp, and now your brain feels like it's buffering. Society tells you to man up, drink another coffee, or push harder. But when testosterone drops, pushing harder is like pressing the gas pedal on an empty gas tank. You get noise, not motion. It's not lack of discipline. It's a metabolic imbalance disguised as procrastination. And that's where the shame spiral starts. You think, what's wrong with me? Everyone else seems fine. You start avoiding tasks, disconnecting from people, and that isolation just reinforces the false belief that you're lazy. But the reality is, you're just biochemically drained. Let's talk about what's really happening inside the body. Testosterone is far more than a sex hormone. It's a signal that tells your body how much energy to produce, how stable your mood should be, and how effectively your brain should focus. When testosterone levels start to fall, your brain becomes less responsive to dopamine, the transmitter that controls motivation, drive, and at the same time, your stress hormone, cortisol, begins to rise. So then your sleep quality drops, your recovery time slows down, and your muscle mass starts to decline, which pushes your metabolism even lower. So what does all that actually look like in your day-to-day life? When testosterone is low, you don't suddenly lose ambition. You lose momentum. You still want to get things done, but it's like driving a sports car with an empty gas tank. You stomp on the pedal and nothing's going to happen. Low testosterone doesn't just drain your energy, it also changes your mood. Many men describe feeling irritable and emotionally flat. This happens because testosterone helps regulate serotonin, the neurotransmitter responsible for keeping your mood balanced and your outlook positive. It also affects energy at the cellular level. Testosterone supports your mitochondria, which are the tiny little power plants inside the cells that create energy. So when testosterone drops, those mitochondria make less ATP, which means your body literally produces less energy to work with. And that's why no amount of coffee or motivational podcasts can fix it. So when a man says, I just don't care anymore, he's not being dramatic. He's describing a biochemical slowdown that makes it hard for him to feel like himself. Now, when I look at labs, this pattern shows up clearly. Many men come in with total testosterone levels sitting around the 300s. Add in modern stress, poor sleep, and processed foods, and you've got the perfect storm for hormonal burnout. And this is where I want to be clear. This is not laziness. This is low testosterone causing exhaustion, distraction, and disconnection. So let me tell you about a few clients. Let's start with, let's call him Mark. He's 42, he runs his own business, works out 3 times a week, and is still exhausted by noon. When I looked over his labs, his testosterone was 312. After we optimized his hormones, adjusted his nutrition, and started focusing on his vitamins and minerals, these things laid a solid foundation. At his 3-month visit, Mark told me, I feel like myself again. He's back to closing deals, he's back in the gym, and his wife is happy. That's not the placebo effect. That's hormones. Another client, call him David, came in thinking he had early depression. Turns out his testosterone was low, his cortisol was high, and his vitamin D was very deficient. Within 60 days of correcting those, he said, it's like someone turned the lights back on. These stories are powerful because they shatter the stigma. Men aren't lazy, they just need a tune-up. Optimizing your testosterone isn't about turning you into someone else. It's about getting you back to yourself. Your energy returns first, then your focus sharpens. You start finishing projects, showing up differently at work, and reconnecting with people you care about. This is when you realize it was never about willpower, it was about balance. Most men describe this rejuvenating feeling as a cloud of fog clearing from their brain. And that's exactly what functional medicine aims for. Restoring the systems that power motivation, not just masking fatigue with caffeine or pep talks. If any of this sounds like what you're living right now, constant fatigue, low drive, brain fog, don't ignore it. If you don't know where to start and you aren't sure if it's your testosterone or something else causing your symptoms, click the link below and schedule a complimentary wellness roadmap call. I'd love to sit down and go through all your symptoms with you and schedule out a plan that's going to work perfect for you. However, if you're ready to get started on your testosterone journey and you are confident that's what's going on based on your symptoms and everything we've discussed today, go ahead and get set up with our testosterone replacement program. There is going to be a link in the description below as well. Once you fix the chemistry, the motivation is going to follow naturally. If this video helped you rethink what lazy might really mean, give it a like. Subscribe for more content on hormones, vitality, longevity. And remember, you're not broken, you're just due for a reboot.